My friend threw the most beautiful 18th century evening party, so I knew that I wanted to create something very special. Last year I wore yellow and black and I didn't really like it on me, so I wanted something that was a bit more vibrant. I found this absolutely incredible silk taffeta when I was in London in this amazing violet, lavender, lilac color, and I decided that that is what I was going to do. So I started out in my chemise, which is the white nightgown looking item, and then I had my stays on. This is my pockets with the labubu. Pockets went underneath your garment. So in the 18th century, garments didn't really have pockets made into them. You tied them around. I added an extra pocket because I wanted to put other items in my pocket and one didn't work out. And then I'm putting over my panniers from period corsets. I have only good things to say about these things. I do not like making them, and this was the most perfect silhouette. And then the organza petticoat came in from period corsets as well. And I felt like I could have actually just worn this and I would have been super happy. The panniers are available on Period Corset's website, but the organza petticoat was custom made and I am legitimately obsessed with it. I wanted to wear just this outfit, but I couldn't. I had to put a whole dress on, but I could have worn this and been happy. So the cool thing is that the petticoats, the panniers, they all have slits in the side, and that's how you can access your pockets. Now I'm going to put my petticoat on. This was a completely new way of doing petticoats for me. I usually don't wear such wide panniers. I saw this petticoat in Janet Arnold's Patterns of Fashion, and you take the small section that is going to be your waist measurement and you put that on the waistband. The excess fabric gets drawn up with a drawstring and tied so you can adjust it over your panniers. I know that doesn't make any sense, so I kept the little visual here so you can see. This excess fabric is on a drawstring, and once you pull it together, like so, you can adjust it over your pannier, and I felt like this was such a better solution than how I did it last year. I had a lot of fabric that folded in when I walked at the center front, and I wanted that to be flat. I don't know. I mean, I felt like it worked. Maybe next year I could do a little better, but I think for the time being, I figured it out. I was so proud. So now comes the gown. Oh my gosh. I love sack backs. I love the outcome. I do not like making them. They are so fiddly, but I actually did a pretty good job. I'm gonna go ahead and be really proud of myself. I think I did really good this year. I'm very happy. I made a lot of changes from the dress I made last year. Automatically the fit is so much better. This year I wanted really skinny pleats. So again, I used a Janet Arnold Patterns of Fashion. I'm going to say book 5, but don't quote me on that. And it was really nice to be able to make skinnier pleats. Next year, I want to make them a little wider. I think I made them too skinny, but I digress. So I stole this idea from my friend Kit Kat Stitch. She has this internal lacing and it really does help the fit insanely well. So if you're going to make your own sack back gown, I would recommend putting this internal lacing in, but make sure that you're going to do this lining that it connects to the back seam. If it connects from the side seam, it's going to pull wonky. So make sure it connects at the back seam. I know that doesn't make any sense. If you're trying to make your own and you can't figure it out, just write me because I am happy to pass on this knowledge. Now comes the part that nobody likes, the pinning. So if you ever watched 1776 and you kept hearing Abigail Adams go, "Pins, John, pins," it's because pins were such a crucial part of the 18th century. It was used in baby diapers. I mean, there's even sections from, skipping ahead a couple decades, Jane Austen took out sections of her book and she pinned in the pieces that she wanted to replace that with. Pins were used to pin your clothing on. What I'm doing is taking my little silver pins and I am pinning through the stomacher and then I'm burying that in my stays, which is the pink corset that I'm wearing. It's boned, so you don't actually pin yourself. I have stuck myself, but you know, it is what it is. And then I'm taking the front of my gown underneath the little ribbons and I'm pinning that to my stomacher. And I like the part where I said, oh, I never ever stabbed myself except right here. Boom, stabbed myself and caught it on camera. It doesn't feel good, but again, is what it is. And then I'm going to take the front of my gown and I'm pinning that to my stomacher. I made these little ruffles so you don't actually see the pins, and I thought that was really helpful last year. You saw the pins and it was very frustrating. This time I wanted to bury them. And I'm adding more and more and more and more pins because I lost a bunch of them as the night went on. Now I'm taking my little chatelaine from Les Dorés, and this is actually going to be my fan holder, which is so clever because I have the bad habit of sometimes I will misplace my fan and then I'll be like, where did my fan go? Well, now I don't have to worry about that because it's chained to me for the rest of the night. Also makes a perfect little boo-boo holder, but that's just between you and me. And then this is what my final gown looked like, but I felt like because it was a garden party, I needed something to make it a little jazzy, and of course, feathers complete the look. This was an evening event, so I don't really care how big they were. I love this costume. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I just think I did such a great job, and I'm very proud of myself considering I struggled making it. And this is what it looks like in the sunlight with my little gray wig, and here is what it looks like in the garden. I hope you enjoy. Okay, bye-bye.